Welcome to Hashtag Nerd Stuffs, our vlog that we try to do weekly, but I'm lazy and sometimes it goes over. So, as always, I'm Fuzzy.
I'm Fink.
And we're going to be talking about just some random stuff today. Not a whole lot of exciting stuff that I've seen. But we're just going to talk about some stuff.
The first thing I want to talk about is how wrong I was and how wrong the theories were about who Zoom was on Flash. And I feel like a big idiot now.
You should.
Well, I don't feel too stupid because my own theory at the beginning was that it was going to be some version of somehow of a Jay Garrick or somebody like that that's came into the show that's going to be, you know, a dual character that they're going to use. And I think it's going to be where you have kind of four people. So you got Earth 2, Jay and Hunter, and Earth 1, Jay and Hunter. That would be my guess. But I was completely wrong, so I'll look stupid in the last vlog. My apologies. Not really. Nobody knew except for the showrunners, so I don't feel that bad about it. But the episode was great. At the end, you right before the reveal, you get to see Jay get pulled back into Earth 2 by Zoom, and then it's the reveal happens, and pretty much everybody's worked out that the guy that's in the cell is another version of Jay or Hunter Zolman. Flash is getting good. It's on a break now, which sucks. Take a freaking winter break on a show and then take a break. Like 3-4 episodes into
they do that because we follow, my wife and I follow iZombie, which is also a DC, and they do that too. They only did 2 or 3 episodes, and then we're back on a break.
Yep.
And it's kind of irritating.
It's very irritating. But Flash is getting good. Arrow's getting good. The last episode of Arrow, I believe, is the one where they finally defeated, I say, Damien Dark. He got captured finally. So that's a good one. The storyline between Oliver and Felicity, with Felicity finally the chip working and her getting to walk again out of the wheelchair, and then she walks out of the room on Oliver, was kind of douchebaggish on her part in my eyes. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm not a woman. Her character should already know that Oliver is not the best at divulging everything to everyone. So he kept a secret from her, which was that he had a son by another woman.
How dare him?
Yeah, and he kept the secret so he could see his son. And then it's like, it's something that I don't know. That's a crazy scenario, and that's something that I wish they kind of would have strayed away from in the show and just kind of kept it more based on fighting people than dealing with relationships being ruined over crappy stuff. But anyway, I'll let you take over on the next whatever.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and get out of the way. So, after I used the iPhone, I've been back and forth between Apple and Samsung for several years now, and then when we first met, I had a Note. No, when we first met, I had the PlayStation phone, and then I got a Note. After that, I actually traded my Note in and got a iPhone 5, and then I got the 5S, and then I got the 6 Plus, and then I decided I wanted to go back to Android, so I got a Note 4. Anyway, the big announcement at the last electronics show were the 2 cell phones from Samsung and LG, the G5 modular phone. Have you seen the modular phone?
I haven't seen
pretty
LG's.
awesome.
I've seen a couple of variations.
But the S7 was announced, and the S7 Edge, and it went up for pre-order a couple of days later. And its official release date is the 11th of this month, which is next week. So you get a free VR headset and a year's of Netflix for free if you pre-ordered it. And I just wanted it, so I pre-ordered it, and then I came home yesterday to this. I came home with a Galaxy S7 Edge a week before launch, and it's just it kind of caught me by surprise that it happened on launch or before launch, and I got it, and yeah, I'm just super excited that I got it. It's a pretty awesome device, I must say. It's waterproof, and it's got an expandable SD card slot. All right, so what do you got?
I guess next we can talk about Deadpool.
Yeah, you finally saw
I
it.
finally went and saw it, and I got my loot crate and got my cool shirt that says tacos. Amazing movie. Deadpool was everything that I hoped for, and more, because they packed so much stuff in there. It was so good, so pleasing. And Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool, of course, as we already knew was going to be me.
Yeah, he was really good in X-Men Origins at the first when he was allowed to talk.
When he was Wade Wilson.
Yeah.
And it was just so good. The different kind of just facets of the movie were really good. I mean, you did have a love story. You had, of course, the over the top killing and maiming of people, which is, that's Deadpool. And then you also had kind of like, not kind of, you had the comedy of the movie, which was great. It's a good movie overall. I mean, there were so many different, little Easter eggs in there, and just references to different things. Like when he first walks into the bar at the beginning of the movie, Pat's got on the back, "What's up, Liefeld?" That was Rob Liefeld sitting at the bar. That's the creator of Deadpool sitting there. That was awesome. You had a mention of, well, not a mention, but the pizza box where he ordered the pizza in the other guy's apartment was Famous Feige's. So Feige, the one that's doing all, it's the head of the Marvel universe, the cinematic universe. That was a nod to him. And then I know there was another one that I'm missing. That was a creator, Street Signs. I don't remember who it was now.
Stanley in the strip club.
Stanley in the strip club was hilarious.
It was great.
Yeah, that was priceless. There are just so many little Easter eggs thrown in there, and a lot of the things that were in comics, stayed through it. You had Blind Al, that the blind lady that he lived with. That was great to see her make it to the movie, which had some really funny moments with her with the baby hand.
His hand. That was one of my favorite parts of the whole movie. Is that little hand.
Little hand. It's gonna feel so big in this. It was perfect, and the scene that led up to him, cutting off his own arm. You ever seen 127 Hours? Spoilers. Cuts his arm or his hand off. That was great. The movie, I would say, has had to have surpassed, anybody's expectations of how well it was going to do. As far as how much money it's brought in, I looked it up right before we started shooting. $609.3 million it's made at the box office so
for
far.
an R-rated movie.
Yeah, so that's the most ever for an R-rated movie, which is insane. It's crazy, and to see people still complaining about it, and talking about walking out of the movie. It's an R-rated Deadpool movie. What did you expect going into this movie?
Why would you walk out of it? I guarantee you they didn't walk out of 50 Shades of Grey or any nonsense like that.
Right.
Not talking anything bad about 50 Shades of Grey, but, that movie is, to me, just as bad. It might not have had the over-the-top, like, murder in it, but, it's about a dude that has fetishes where he likes nipple clamps and dick stabbers or come on, the guy's like into like beating women with a whip. We all, it's just ridiculous. Just get over it. It's a movie. It's not real. It's not reality. I'm sorry, but kids don't see movies like this and then go out and put on a red jumpsuit and start murdering people. Maybe one or two might because they're crazy.
They would do that anyway, though. You could blame Pac-Man for people, doing crazy stuff. So
here's my advice: if your kid goes and watches Deadpool and then he puts on a red jumpsuit, you should probably seek him some psychiatric help
because there's some sharp objects.
Something is wrong with him because it's not real life, and there's no reason to walk out of a movie. What does it even matter? You already gave him your money.
Yeah, well, that's the point. Yeah,
I don't think they give you your money back.
You've already failed your mission because you've only hurt your pocketbook.
Yeah, good job. So you contributed to the $600+ million that it's made. Congratulations.
Yeah, making sure that there is going to be another one now.
I mean, what do people expect to go in a Deadpool movie and expect it to be like, gosh darn, oh heck, gee whiz,
gee willikers, look at these foam swords I've got.
I mean, the opening credits should have tipped you off to how the movie was going to be. The fact that they
listed nobody's name.
Nobody's.
was perfect.
But they did mention things like douchebags and tools.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. America's favorite idiot.
Yep.
The jokes about the Green Lantern were great.
The Deadpool figure.
Yeah, the Deadpool
X-Men Origins.
The Origins figure was great.
His Hello Kitty backpack.
Yeah, when Ajax tells him that he's gonna while he's asleep, he's gonna sew his mouth shut, and he said, "You better not do that." That's, basically that's just taking a jab at the Origins movie. You don't want to do that, and then the movie bombs.
I like the part. I like the part where they're on the bridge. And he's like, and what the fuck's her name? And she's like, Negasonic Teenage Red. He's like, what the shit?
That's the best name ever. He was going through the names for himself. He's like, what was it? Captain
Deadpool.
Yeah, that was great. And then in the same little where he's sitting and talking, he says that he looks like he was bitten by a radioactive Shar-Pei, which was kind of like a double shout out to the comics because Spider-Man had a big influence on how Deadpool was made.
Styled.
Styled after.
He styled heavily after Spider-Man.
After Spider-Man. Everybody knows that he's a ripoff of Deathstroke, but he's styled after Spider-Man in the suit and everything. But he says he was bitten by a radioactive Shar-Pei, and that's actually also a direct, almost. It's a taken from a quote in a comic book where he's talking about being a mix between, where it actually calls it out. He says, "I'm a mix. What would you do if you look like a mix between Ryan Reynolds and a Shar-Pei?" So it's another just direct, just punch the computer. It's all right.
I can't move hands.
Laugh.
I don't know what to do with my hands right now.
But yeah, it was good to see them. Lay some Easter eggs in there for the comic book readers. The jabs at no more than 2 X-Men being in the movie, and it having to do with budgets and all that stuff. That was pretty funny. Just breaking the fourth wall, and then the inception of fourth wall breaking the fourth wall inside of breaking the fourth wall. It's just great. I guess the last thing I have to talk about the Deadpool movie was the post-credit scene, which was an homage to Ferris Bueller's Day Off at first, and then to hear Deadpool pretty much say, which everybody's saying it's confirmed or whatever, but we're getting teased that Cable is going to be in the next movie, which will be awesome to see Cable come in. I don't know. I'm excited for the next Deadpool movie. This one is catapulted to the top of, near the top of my favorite comic book movies for sure. Deadpool was awesome.
It was a very, very, very good movie. I told you it was good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't have any spoilers.
It sucks we didn't get to go see it together, but things happen and
extenuating
maybe we can go see BVS together.
Yes.
Or just a movie in general.
Yeah. Or Civil War.
Or hold hands and share Sprite.
Anything. Yeah.
Popcorn. Only Sprite. I'm not paying $8 for a thing of popcorn. I'm sorry. Every time we go, my wife gets a thing of popcorn. No offense, I love you, but it's $8 for popcorn. It's kind of ridiculous.
We went to see Deadpool. Luckily, we had a gift
card. Some stuff in.
No, we didn't.
Oh,
we had a gift card for the movie though, so we didn't have to pay for the movie tickets. But then we got to the counter,
and
$30. I basically paid for movie tickets by buying a Coke and candy.
I just want to take some duct tape and strap some Cracker Jacks, some Sour Patch Kids,
Twizzler ropes.
Then go inside and then wait for the quietest part of the movie and be like, shh.
Don't mind me.
Get my cell phone out and take pictures of it. That'd be pretty sweet. Really piss some people off. Whatever. Oh, hold on.
Nope.
Hold on.
Time out.
Let me tell you about my experience with Deadpool. So, we went on Valentine's Day My beautiful wife took me to see it, and the theater's full when we get there, and the front seats that no one wants to sit in, the very back row is open, which was okay. The only thing is like you have to move your head to follow the action. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't too close. That like the time we went and saw Star Trek Into Darkness, we literally sat in the front row. But anyway, so like no one's sitting around us at first. I'm like, hell yeah! And then like halfway through the opening previews, this couple comes in, and the lady sits right next to me, and every time something happened, she gasped the loudest gasp ever. She's like, oh! Oh God! And I'm like looking over at my wife, and I'm like,
kill me, just kill me.
Because it's like one of my pet peeves is like when you're in the movie theaters,
just shut up.
And even in the previews, like I'll be like mid sentence and the previews come on, I'm like, I put myself because I personally like the previews because you know
that's where you get to see the first shots of things.
You know, I'm just one of those people that enjoys seeing movies in the theaters. I insist on seeing certain movies in theaters first. It's just, there's nothing, yeah, sure, I have Netflix and a nice TV and a computer and all that, but there's nothing like seeing a movie or a trailer for a movie that you haven't seen yet on the big screen. And, you know, I always go to IMAX. I didn't see Deadpool in IMAX just because.
I saw it in just standard.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it in the standard, the whatever, you know, but I would like to go see it in, like, the Dolby Atmos. I heard that the Atmos sound system is, like, top notch.
Really? It's top notch.
Top
shelf stuff, bro.
Over here. Over there. Over here.
Over here.
Over here. Over there.
Oh, one more thing, Deadpool.
One more thing.
Like I said, I did get
Scoot back there.
my loot crate.
Scoot back there.
Which loot crate this month was Deadpool and Walking Dead, which was awesome. And I got my little Deadpool figure.
That thing's pretty awesome. Look at it.
Cool.
It's pretty cool.
Pretty awesome. So I know my little setup in the back here usually changes, I think, week to week because my daughter steals a lot of my toys and stuff. But it's my little nerd haven back there with all my stuffs and things. But next up on the list,
And we can talk about Star Wars. I mean, it's not about the new movie. It's just I was doing a work function today, and we used my laptop for the PowerPoint presentation because they couldn't get the company laptop to work.
of course not, it never works.
But you know, up on the projection screen is my my Star Wars background, and there a lot of people are asking me questions about it because a lot of them know that we do this vlog. So, yeah, we talked about a lot of stuff, and it just made me. I don't know, it made me feel good about myself that I know so much about it.
Right.
I talked to him about the reveal that, from what I read and what I've seen, I don't know if it's true, but, you know, I've read and heard that the big reveal in Empire Strikes Back that Darth Vader was Luke's father wasn't told to anybody until they were shooting the scene. Like, it was a big surprise when they shot the scene that Darth Vader was Luke's father. Nobody knew, and Mark Hamill wasn't even given the lines for that particular scene until they went to shoot it, like right before. So it kind of, that's one of my favorite moments from the whole film because Mark Hamill's reaction in that scene looked very genuine. Because at the time, you think about it, up until that movie, everybody thought that Darth Vader killed Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, that he was the murderer.
Yeah, imagine, obviously I wasn't alive when Star Wars came out, but, I mean, think about all the people that saw it back then. I mean, you went into Empire Strikes Back thinking that Darth Vader killed Luke Skywalker's father. And then at the end, the very end, he reveals that he's the father, and it was just like... Is that true? No. It's not possible. Search your feelings, Luke. You know it to be true. Together, we can walk together as father and son. Another interesting thing that I told them when they filmed the first Star Wars is that this is true for all the Star Wars that Darth Vader was in. The actor in the suit actually voiced all the lines. And he was an English gentleman, if I'm not mistaken.
It wasn't until later that they cut him out.
Yeah, like one of the cuts for the first movie, they came out, and he didn't even know anything about it until he saw the final cut that they replaced his voice with James Earl Jones, which obviously was a very smart decision.
Yeah, I mean,
because
I've
seen, because I have the Blu-ray collector set, I've seen the scenes, just like most Star Wars people have, of him doing the lines. And it does not go together. He's like, "Where are the rebels?" And I'm like, "What? Who is this guy?"
Where are the rebels?
But I mean, it's just stuff like that's just super awesome. Everybody knows that Harrison Ford wanted them to kill off Han Solo way early. And spoilers, obviously, the movie's probably not even in theaters anymore. It's probably being prepped to come to Blu-ray. Movies are like a 3-month cycle now before they come out on Blu-ray and DVD.
Unless I want to see them, and then they're...
Yeah, and then they just never come out. But, he talked about it openly in many interviews that he wanted them to kill off Han Solo. Yep. Because, I don't know if it's because he didn't want to do it anymore. He just felt like that character just couldn't do anything else. But obviously, J.J. Abrams taking over... introducing Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren, is one of the best things that could ever happen. He's my favorite character out of the whole movie. I don't care.
Awesome.
And I've read a bunch of things. A lot of people complain that he throws like temper tantrums and stuff. I mean, you got to think he's a young adult. He's confused.
He's battling his inner demons.
He doesn't know, and he's throwing a temper tantrum. I mean, that's the whole point is like they're showing. I didn't view it as, he's immature. They put it in the movie for a reason, and they left that scene in the movie for a reason to show that Kylo Ren doesn't know what in the hell is going on. Yep. He doesn't know.
No.
And
he doesn't know what he wants either. He doesn't know. I mean, he knows what he knows what he wants. He wants, in his mind, to fulfill his grandfather's legacy. Yeah. But he doesn't know if that's to fulfill it for, one of two reasons for the. Dude,
I'm telling you right now,
for the light or the dark side.
That Supreme Leader
Snoke
is Darth
Plagueis.
Darth Plagueis. I'm telling you, it's Darth Plagueis. I'm telling you right now.
He's the one that's talked about.
I guarantee you, because I believe this. I don't think that Luke or Anakin or Leia were any of the three that were talked about in the prophecy to bring balance to the Force. I think it's gonna be Kylo. I think it's a Skywalker or a Solo. But there's Rey. There's rumors going around that it's Obi-Wan's illegitimate child or granddaughter from an illegitimate relationship that he had. I don't believe that. I think for sure that's
she's a Skywalker.
She's a Skywalker. She's Rey, or she's Kylo's sister. And I'll tell you why I think that. Because the plot line to The Force Awakens is the same exact plot line that A New Hope was. It follows almost the same plot line. It does. It really does follow the same plot line. She's going to be a Skywalker. Yeah. I can guarantee it. She's a Solo Skywalker, the same thing.
Whatever, yeah.
But she, that's why the saber called to her in the weird looking lady's house. I can't remember.
Oh,
I'm really bad about remembering the side characters' names.
And I know her name.
It's like was it Mom's Cats or something like that? Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and the whole time you thought that Finn was the Force user, and then in the end it turns out it's Rey, and that was an awesome turn of events because I didn't think it was going to be her until the saber called for her. But the thing is, like, I'm glad they gave a lightsaber to somebody that wasn't Force adept. But the thing is, like, how do we know that Finn isn't Force adept? We don't. We don't know that he's not Force adept.
He doesn't. He was brought up to be a stormtrooper. So you don't know. You don't know what his lineage is. He was given a number.
Another thing is the scene between Han Solo and Kylo on the bridge where Han Solo passes away.
God rest his soul.
it never shows what really happens. And Kylo says that there's something that he has to do. And you don't ever see anything besides the lightsaber pierce Han Solo's back. I personally think that Han did it. I think Han, because he went to reach for the saber, I think Han lit the saber. Just because maybe that's going to help Kylo find maybe he needs to feel the loss to go back to the light. But however, Anakin's loss of his mother by the Sand People, which is a terrible choice. They're Sand People. Why? Anyway. That kind of put him on the path to the dark side. So I'm hoping maybe this will help put Kylo on the path to the light side. And another thing, he's the leader of the Knights of Ren. Who the fuck are the Knights of Ren? Look at that. No one knows. They're not going to release it until probably the next episode. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I wish they could have revealed a little bit more. Who was the guy at the beginning that gave the location of Luke Skywalker? I mean, they say his name and stuff, but like, he kind of has a backstory. But he had a backstory before the movie came out and before Disney said that anything that happens on the side from before then was not considered official canon. It's just legends now. So.
Yeah, they took away a lot of the official canon and made it, like you said, made it legends instead of...
I like the way this is going over the original continuation, the novels and stuff after the Star Wars movies happened. I'm glad they took that away because the new movie is phenomenal and it is much better than what happened in the novels, in my opinion. But that's enough Star Wars nerding out, I guess, for the time being. Bunch of my opinions. So, what do you want to talk about?
We got Walking Dead left.
Hey, Walking Dead. Man, that was a good episode.
That was a good episode. My favorite line is going to be when Abraham looks at Glenn and says, "When you were pouring the Bisquick, did you mean to make pancakes?" That was great. Oh, and my Walking Dead, my Loot Crate, Todd McFarlane toys. I like to call him Little Rick. That's Little Rick. He just sits here and stares at me on my computer desk. And I also got Daryl's ears hanging on my Deathstroke box there. That's actually soap on a rope. So if I ever go to jail, I'm taking that with me. Intimidating with my necklace of ears that I take to the shower every day.
I would be intimidated. I'd be like, oh my god, this guy murdered soap and shaped it into ears.
Yeah, that's soap.
Man, that guy really hates soap. Yeah, but it's a good episode. We talked about while we were downstairs. There was like 15 zombies, and it was just in one scene. The scene where they found the crash. Obviously, when they found the crash, there were like zombies in the car. And then there were zombies in the building. And then the rest of it was just about Hilltop.
Yep.
And, the plan to kill Negan and the Saviors. And Maggie, man.
You got to see.
She's a badass.
Yeah. You got to see it's Gregory, right? Yeah, Gregory.
Yeah,
Gregory's the leader of the Hilltop.
Yeah, he got stabbed.
And you got to see him being the dick that he is.
He's a douchebag.
He's supposed to be. And he's supposed to be. I mean, they portrayed him correctly to what the comics would portray him as. And I really hope they take the path of the comic books, because then you get to see Maggie pretty much demoralize Gregory. He becomes
she did too.
A big pussy.
In the comics, wasn't it Andrea that did it?
No, it's Maggie.
Was it Maggie in the comics?
Yeah, no, Andrea stays at Alexandria with Rick.
Oh yeah,
Maggie goes to Hilltop to raise the kid.
That's right.
She ends up taking over.
Huh. Well, I bet that happens in the show.
Yeah, I would say so, because that's going to be a safer place for the kid.
I mean, not much happened story moving, like to move the story, other than the attack on Gregory, and then Rick and them interfere, and then Maggie pretty much tells them that if they're going to kill Negan, then they want half. Yep. So they want it right then. I mean, that was pretty much the whole episode. Was just the dynamic between Maggie and Gregory because Rick told her that he wasn't going to do it because he shouldn't. You know, because Rick's kind of insane.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to talk about last time I talked about like The Walking Dead. In the comic books, I remember this a lot. One of the things that I truly remember about the comics, for like 10 comics, Rick was like batshit crazy. He carried that phone around.
Yeah.
It only happened in the show one time.
Yeah. I think a couple episodes he had the phone.
It wasn't long though, but in the comic it was like an ongoing. He was just like
he actually he hid the phone and everything. And
I'm glad in the comic books they killed when the zombies invade Alexandria. Morgan died. They killed Morgan in the comics. Yeah. Because Michonne was with Morgan at the time, the priest. And they killed him off when the zombies invaded Alexandria. I'm 98% positive on that. They didn't really kill off any main characters in that, except for the 2 stupid kids.
Yeah. And Jesse.
Well, yeah. But you knew, I mean, if you read the comic, you knew that. You knew that exactly how. Yeah. Another about this episode, man, Carl's cool with Michonne and Rick. Doing it.
That was
that was one of my favorite scenes. Is like he was like, Carl comes out, holds the gun to Jesus' head. He's like, "What are you doing in my house?" He's like, "Just waiting on your mom and dad." And the look on Carl's face, I was like, "Oh!" But then he was like, "But then flip." But later on, he was like, "I'm cool with it." He's all smiles and stuff. I mean,
he's got to be happy for his dad to be happy.
Dude, the kid just got half of his face blown off. He's missing an eye. He's like Governor Junior. But to see Carl smiling for once was it was pretty good. I'm really. I told you I've talked about this in our first vlog how I was getting burnt out on The Walking Dead. I'm really liking the direction this show's going right now. We do disagree on one thing though. You think they're going to kill Glenn, and I think they're going to kill Daryl.
No, I think it's Stormy.
I think they're going to kill Daryl because I think, in all honesty, I think because Norman Reedus' career is like at an all-time high right now, and honestly, I think that would be the only reason they kill him off because
Norman. They're going to cost him. He's going to cost them too much.
Cost him money, and I think he wants to move on and do other things because he has done many movies, small parts in movies. I think it's time to see. Old Norman Reedus in a good movie, in a leading role. Maybe in a comic book movie, dude. He would be a couple of good characters.
Yeah. Norman Reedus could do some good work.
I think he could. Don't do something stupid like Crossbow Man, though. I don't want to see anything dumb like that.
Swamp Thing.
I don't want to see
Swamp Thing.
I don't want to see Dirty Daryl Dixon Norman Reedus in a movie. I want to see Norman Reedus being Norman Reedus because he's actually a really good actor. He was good in the Boondock Saints and Blade 2 as Scuds. Squid everything. Scud.
Blade 2 was a good movie anyway.
The Blade movies are very underrated Marvel movies. Yeah, man, they are all good.
That's what gave Marvel the kick, actually, is the Blade movies because the first Blade was released right before the first X-Men movie. Yeah. And
no. The first Blade movie was in like the mid-90s. The first X-Men movie was like 2000 or like late. Look it up.
Either way, the Blade movies are what kicked it off. Really,
I saw all the Blade movies in theaters: Blade 2, and Blade Trinity with Ryan Reynolds. And the other chick from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That chick.
Nobody knows her name because no one cares.
Yeah, just boobs and
Texas
face.
Chainsaw. Let's stop. Here's a word about stop rebooting the Texas Chainsaw Massacre because it was stupid to begin with. And it's stupid now.
We're done with it.
The first movie was alright. It was just, I'm just not into it. Not really into, like, Friday the 13th or Freddy Krueger scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. Like, literally had nightmares, and I don't really like watching them just because it scared the shit out of me.
The first Friday the 13th was pretty good. And then the only other one that I really give any kind of thought to is...
Jason Takes Manhattan.
Jason X.
Jason in Space. Jason X.
No, is the Friday the 13th remake by Rob Zombie was good. It was very well done.
I will give that. The second one though was No, he didn't do Friday the 13th. He didn't do. It was Halloween.
Halloween. I'm sorry. Yeah, not.
They did remake Friday the 13th,
Not Friday.
and it wasn't that good.
Yeah, no, not Friday. The 13th.
They remade
Halloween.
They remade Nightmare on Elm Street, and it was terrible.
Halloween. That was the same guy that played Rorschach.
Yeah, and they pretty much ruined that man's career because I thought he was just a great actor. Played Rorschach.
He was awesome for Rorschach.
And then you ruin him. You know, you give him. I mean, Robert Englund's like, you know, Freddy Krueger was kind of funny, but I'm just not into that kind of. If I'm into horror movies, it's like Bram Stoker's Dracula, like some like crazy, like off the wall shit.
Bro,
not. I don't really like Halloween either. A lot of people probably don't like this because I don't like.
I liked Halloween. I did.
I like horror movies. I love The Exorcist. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I can't watch it because it scares me, but one of my favorite horror movies of all time, The Exorcist. I love horror movies. I just don't like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and all that. It's just not. To me, it's just not interesting. I don't know why.
They're interesting like the first time you see them, but then the subsequent like 17 movies to follow it make it a lot less interesting.
I don't know if we've talked about this in a vlog. I don't think that we have, but it's no secret to anyone. I don't care anyone who knows this. Pacific Rim is one of my favorite movies of all time because of its originality. It's kaiju, it's giant robots, fantastic. The news came months ago that Pacific Rim 2 had been canceled, and then Fink over here sent me a text message the other day. It made me smile. Is that Pacific Rim 2's back in production with a new director.
New director, yes.
And,
Del Toro's still going to produce it.
Yeah.
Just tied up with another director now, and make it happen. Oh my God, make it happen. It'll be so awesome.
You know Pacific Rim did amazing overseas, right?
Of course it did.
Yeah, but everybody over here wanted to watch Rocky's 26.
Yeah.
So, let's stop making the same shit. Stop remaking movies, please.
Yeah.
We don't...
Let's make something original.
A couple of movies need to be remade that couldn't pull it off, and back then, like Blade Runner, I'm okay with a reboot of Blade Runner because just technology and graphics and stuff have really come a long way since Blade Runner came out. I think they could do some amazing work with Blade Runner. Remake it, great. Don't remake Friday the 13th again because nobody cares. Nobody cares. The only other thing I want to talk about is the next Call of Duty, which they announced will be at E3. They haven't announced anything other than it'll be at E3. And I think that's the last thing.
Yeah, that's all I got left.
All right, so this is my vision of Call of Duty, right?
Here we go.
So we've already done Modern.
Fuzzy's predictions.
And we're playing Black Ops 3. I mean, you're pretty much a cyborg. You have like robot legs. You can run on walls and do cool shit.
Turn your arm into a machine gun.
Yeah, Transformers crossover.
Optimus Prime is a character package.
Playing through the campaign of the game, there's one specific level where you're going through World War II just for a little bit, and I thought, man, Call of Duty needs to get back to World War II. But here's what I want it to be. So, making a World War II game again would be redundant because they pretty much covered like every major battle that's ever happened in World War II. So why don't we do this? Let's do some sci-fi. Let's throw some sci-fi. Throw some sci-fi in there. So it's like World War II, but some like aliens come down or like somebody from the future comes back. So you got like steampunk weapons and like future weapons and all kinds of... That way you can still keep in multiplayer, you can still keep like the modern attachments like silencers, the ELO scope, reflex, all that fun stuff. But you can put it on like old ass weapons, like a Thompson machine gun,
running around with a Thompson.
Or your M1 Garand, which by the way, the MX Garand in Black Ops 3 is so much fun.
Shut up.
That's what I think should happen. Let's do something new with it. That would be my perfect Call of Duty.
That sounds awesome, but I'm not completely opposed to just going back to World War II and just let's redo it. Let's put it on the new consoles. Let's do that. I loved World at War. World at War. I played a lot of Call of Duty games before World at War, but World at War is the one that I probably logged the most hours on up to that point. I just loved it. Great game. Multiplayer was awesome. Campaign was good. Of course, that's when they introduced zombies. That's when the first taste of zombies was awesome.
The surprise of the game was zombies.
Yeah, but I'm completely fine with going back to that. I would like to see a game a little bit slower paced, where it's not everybody just jumping and boosting around the maps and running on walls. And I want that slow pace again. It gives you spawns that don't flip every 2 seconds, because that's horrible. But
you can get to the other side of the map too fast in Black Ops 3 because they're in all the other Call of Duty games. You can only sprint for so long.
Yep.
And in Black Ops 3, you can just infinitely sprint.
Unlimited sprint.
Infinite or slide or anything
jump,
crazy.
Run on walls.
And there's no
backflips.
One of the dumb things in Black Ops 2 that I loved was the dolphin dive or dive to prone. But the drawback to that is that it took a minute to get back up, and in Black Ops, so you can just slide and then immediately pop up, and or get kills like that too. I get killed so many times by somebody that's sliding on the ground or like 28 feet in the air above me. They're like, it makes me so upset.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that they do take the next game and take a step back. Even if you don't do I'll take it this far. You don't even have to go back to World War II. Let's do let's go back to like a Modern Warfare 2 type game.
Yeah, let's go back
something
to
like that. That's fine with me. I don't need a jetpack. Just let's go back to making it a little bit more realistic. Put me more in a simulation.
Yeah, like more realistic, where I don't have to shoot somebody in the head 3 times to kill them. One shot
in the head should kill somebody.
I don't need an attachment that gives me extra headshot damage. Why do you need that when one shot to the head should kill somebody?
Nobody's running around with a .22 pistol, so headshots should kill people. I don't want shotguns that can kill somebody from 100 yards away.
Yeah, or you get killed by it, and then you're like, well, I'm gonna make a class with it, and you can't hit anybody.
Yeah,
with it.
Yeah.
Like here's the Argus. I love that gun, but I always get killed with it, and I'm like, I'm gonna switch to my Argus class and show them what's up. And I shoot him from like point blank, and it just misses altogether. I'm like, it's a shotgun. How did I miss this person? What the hell's going on?
That's crazy. COD's always been kind of an aggravation, and it's one of those games that I love playing Call of Duty. But it's the one game that probably aggravates me the most. I can even do good and still yell at the game.
Anybody gets mad when they lose. Like we played Black Ops 2 together, and it's generally just like the whole time I played, we're just bitching about whatever's happening. But in all reality, I never really got mad at the game because I felt like I was cheated. I was mad because the other person was probably genuinely better than I was. But in Black Ops 3, I feel like I'm screwed 90% of the time when the guy jetpacks up in the air and then slides underneath my legs and then shoots me up through the dick and it goes out the top of my head. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, why? Why did that even happen?
How did that even happen?
It's like...
Physics
how good how you don't have anything else better to do than to do that all day? It's just frustrating when I can put in Black Ops 2 and do like 36 and 3, and it's it's like I'm not bad at shooters. I'm not, but that game makes me feel like I suck.
You have to look at it too. Is we're guys that are playing it that we might play, about 6 hours a week of it.
Yeah.
Whereas there's people that are playing 40, 50 hours a week.
But the thing is, like, in Black Ops 2, when I got in a game and they were better than me, they were just better than me, and I just bitched about how much better they were better than me they were. And in Black Ops 3, I just bitch because it's lag, or the person's like jetting around the map and killing me from in the skies. Right, he jetted up to the UAVs right on top of it. And it's like grenades. I just feel like it's if I want to do that, I will play Halo. Because Halo has systems in place to make things like that fun. Like shields. To where the person doesn't run up, jet up into the air, shoot me in the head 4 times, I'm dead immediately, and I didn't even get a chance to fight back. Where in Halo, you can do the same thing, but you have a chance to fight back. It's whoever's the better precision.
Whoever accuracy matters more instead of just randomly shooting and jumping.
That's exactly what I feel like. I feel like I'm playing SWAT on Halo, which is one of my favorite game types. But I feel like I'm just constantly playing it for forever in the game, and there's no anything to help protect you against. I mean, the kinetic armor, the battery's kinetic armor, is a joke. It's a joke because if they shoot in your head, you're dead anyway, and it runs out with 3 bullets. So have you used it?
No,
it's dumb.
I'll take that back. I've used it once, and there's a reason that I don't use it anymore.
And a lot of the people's secondary the abilities. So every specialist has a weapon and an ability. Most of their abilities are useless.
Vision Pulse sucks.
Vision Pulse sucks.
I'm only using it to get my
Sorry, Jared.
outfits.
Sorry, Jared. Vision Pulse sucks.
Vision Pulse is
Rejack. You're just gonna die again.
Yeah, unless you're just really lucky of jumping, boosting, shooting.
Every time I've rejacked, they've killed me.
Yeah.
The guy with the flames or whatever.
Firebreak.
Yeah, his secondary ability is stupid. It stuns the enemy.
Yeah.
There's secondary abilities. The Seraph, her secondary ability is stupid too. Combat focus.
Yeah. The Overdrive, is that what it's called?
I've seen Overdrive.
The fast one. That one's good if you have combat knife equipped, because then you're like super fast and you just.
The only other one I've seen is the robots clones.
Yeah, that one's stupid. That one's dumb.
The Prophet's glitch, and that one's dumb just because like half the time they got glitch back into the middle of the air, and I just shoot them anyway.
Right. The clones are dumb because I can always tell which one's the real guy.
The one running erratically?
Yeah, the one running erratically and actually aiming at stuff. Because the other ones, the clones just run in a straight line everywhere, and they're not pointing their guns at anything.
Hey, you get points for shooting the clones.
10 points. Yeah. All right, yeah, COD. Hopefully they make something that's not ridiculous next time.
Yeah, like I don't want.
I mean, not that these games are. I take that back. None of these games are ridiculous. They're enjoyable by far, but I just want something that's.
I honestly think it's going to be Advanced Warfare 2 or Ghost 2.
I would say Ghost 2 because Advanced Warfare 2 will be another cycle away at least if they're going to do it.
No. Let's do something new, please. Something new, because Black Ops 3, from my understanding, because I never played Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3 is like Advanced Warfare, like everyone just constantly have that exosuit on all the time. I pretty much as well.
Yeah, Advanced Warfare had the exosuits. The boosting and stuff was different. You didn't have. It was different than what it is in Black Ops 3, but it's not bad. They all really took their I guess everybody gets inspired by the same things around the same time because Titanfall was the first one that gave the wall running and all that stuff, and then you had it in Black Ops 3, the jetpacks and the boosts and slides and all that stuff. It all comes out around the same time. But
it worked better in Titanfall because 90% of the time they were in gigantic robots trying to kill you.
Right.
So wall running is a good way to get away from said giant robots.
But now it's just everybody wall running everywhere, and you can't. Yeah. It makes it that much harder because you're not just looking here and watching your map for behind you and your sides. Now you're watching here and there and there and there and over here and down there and around there. And
a lot of the maps too just have too much wall running sections in it. That's another thing to me that really bothered me. It's like they could have taken that part of the map and done something more creative than making a wall run section. Because 90% of the time, here's a good example: the level with the trees in the middle of the forest, and everyone camps on the trees on the side because one side is a wall running thing. I'll just stand and look at that, and then you're gonna 90% of the time if you're just camping there staring at that, I can shoot them and get a kill if they're running along the wall. Because wall running and aiming at the same time doesn't work out that well. I've seen people really good at it. Jared and I we'll talk about this and then we'll end it because it's going on too long. Jared and I were talking at work, and he's like watching tutorials on YouTube, and he's changed his control scheme around, and I have too.
Flipped mine.
To the bumper jumper. No, we have jump on the right thumbstick, so now we can just jump and still aim because that's how people are doing it. And he's watching tutorials about
kind of clot
about how to do it, and he's getting better at it. But it's like you shouldn't have to learn how to do that for a Call of Duty game. It's Call of Duty.
Yeah, I'm tired of boost jumping. I've enjoyed it to a point in the past 2 games, but let's get back to run around. I want to run and gun and just shoot people.
Yeah,
sit in the back and snipe people if I want to.
Yeah, another thing, I don't even have a sniper class, and it makes me upset.
They're almost useless
because it's useless.
Yeah.
It's useless. There's no maps where there's a good
unless
sniper position.
unless you're on a team where you're mocked up with the other players, with every other player on your team, and you've got people defending your position. There's no point because there's too many avenues to get into everywhere.
Yeah, that and if if there's one person back on the back of the map, let's say you're camping at the back with a sniper, which is
everybody runs to the other side of the map.
A good reason to camp is because you have a sniper, because at close range it's not going to do much unless you're just really good
or lucky.
But let's say you and one other person are camping in the back of the map. If the other team even crosses over the halfway point of the map, the other team starts spawning behind you. And I don't remember that ever happening in any of the other Call of Duty games. If there was one person in both spawns, if your team's in both spawns, just one person, it would spawn the people somewhere else. Somewhere else.
Yeah, the spawns are pretty bad.
They spawn. And the thing is, like, I feel bad too when I'm playing and I run up on somebody and they're just
they're cussing just like you just were.
I mean, I'm gonna shoot them because they're standing there looking like idiots. And it's like, but it's like it's an easy kill for me because the game
gave it to
Why
you.
did it do that? Why did it put them in the? Why did it spawn me behind them? That's dumb. But yeah, I mean that's all I got. A long rant about Call of Duty. We're gonna go home and play it anyway.
Yeah,
like it matters.
Be on later.
Like it matters to be on later. Yeah. So all right, everybody have a great evening.